Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening, Pranav. Okay, we'll just wait for others to join and then we'll start. Today we
Yes,
are going to do revision and we are going to do poverty as a challenge. Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening, Harshit, and good evening, Shravan.
Good evening, ma'am.
Okay. We'll do one thing. We'll just wait for one more minute for others to join and then we'll start. And in the meantime, I want you all to please start your open your chapter poverty as a challenge. We'll do revision today. Okay.
Actually, your voice is breaking a lot.
You hear me well now?
Ma'am, now it's okay.
Okay. Okay, we'll begin. And I hope you all see my screen, right?
Yes, ma'am, it's good.
Sure, sure. Okay. So, poverty as a challenge. And this is our chapter 3 in economics. And in the introduction, there are some bullets that I have here. Okay, now poverty can be defined as the lack of common things like food. It is not only food, it is clothing, shelter, and safe drinking water. And now we have also added medical care, education. Okay, so it is not only food. Many in the olden times it is only food. If somebody is hungry, he is poor. But it is not only food. It is food, clothing, shelter, safe drinking water, and medical care, and education. So there are 5 points to it that you have to remember.
Ma'am, can we
Now,
just write as economic? They are weak economically.
yeah, means a person who is not able to afford medical care, basic medical care, is also poor. Okay, a person who is not able to afford basic education for his children, that person is considered poor. So before it was not the education was not there, medical care was not there. Okay, so now this is a been all, and also safe drinking water. You there not you a person should not drink
Ma'am,
any
which chapter are
contaminated
we
water.
doing? Ma'am,
Should
can you
have.
say which chapter are we doing?
We are doing poverty as a challenge.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. We've just begun. It is you're not very late. Okay. So, what is the definition of poverty? Poverty is something that is lack of the common things like food, clothing, shelter, water, safe water, medical care, and education. Okay, food, clothing, shelter, safe drinking water, medical care, and education. There are basic, uh, six common things. Lack of six common things. Okay, now it is both economic and social dimensions. Okay, we're going to talk about who are the poor people of India. So poor people are the landless laborers in villages, people and we have in people living in juggies, daily wages workers, and at construction sites, child laborers in dhabas, rickshaw pullers, domestic servants, cobblers, beggars. These are all taken under the poor people in India. And we have according to the census of 2011 and 12, we have about 57 crore people living in poverty. That means every fifth person in India is poor. Not of, this is not of today, this is of 11 and 12 according to your NCRT book. Okay, now how is poverty seen by social scientists? Okay, now poverty is looked through social indicators like illiteracy level. Okay,
And can we tell the countries which have high liability power, they are poor,
what you're saying?
and can we say like if the countries the people in few countries they are liable, so can we say the country will be poor? They are not illiterate.
I still did not understand what you're saying.
And if people in few countries are illiterates, can we say that the
Yeah,
country
yeah,
is
yeah. The people who are illiterate, who have not been provided education, they are coming under poor people. This is the definition defined by the UN. Okay, they are they are going to be coming under poor people. Okay, okay. So
Ma'am, but if they are
poverty is,
earning, ma'am, but if they are earning some money through any means, then they, will they still be considered poor
and
or?
there is defined there a certain amount is defined. If you are earning according to, I think, according to rural, if you're living in a person is in rural, if he's earning 1,000, he is not poor. And if in urban, if he is earning 2,500, he is not poor. So what happens in 1,000? He will not even be able to eat food in that, right? In a month, if he's earning according to the census of defined by India, it is 1,000. A person is, if a person is earning 1,000, he is not poor. But it is not there. In 1,000, is the government able to provide him food, water, medical care, education? No. But we will study about all this. Whatever is coming to your question, we will study about all this in the chapter. Okay, now we have done the
Okay.
definition of poverty. Now we will see what poverty is seen by social scientists. You know, many social experiments have been carried out in the society to understand. So one is social exclusion. A poor person is excluded from the from the from the society. So poor are excluded in the communities to better off people. Means even if there is we'll take an example. There is a social event in a five-star hotel. You can say Le Méridien or Hilton or anything, and everybody is invited. There is no tickets to it, and a poor person, a beggar, or you can say a poor person, a daily wages worker, he still will not go inside, although there is no ticket to be paid. Still, he will not go inside, and although there is lavish food inside, there is a AC going on, and but still he will not go. Why? Because he is going to feel inferior. That is the social exclusion. The rich people and the poor people, they have a gap between each other, and they will not let that poor people come inside. You must have seen, there was an incident, a poor person who was wearing torn clothes, or you can say dirty clothes. He was not allowed to enter the metro. Yeah, he was the security over there did not allow him to enter the metro, although he had a valid ticket. So this is social exclusion. Okay, next is vulnerability. Okay, now describe the greater probability of certain communities of individuals becoming or remaining poor in the coming years. Why they are poor? Or my daddy was poor, my father was poor, my grandfather was poor. He was a construction worker, so I'll also be a construction worker. So back the people from backward caste, like and also people, they are treated, or this person, what can he do? He cannot do. It is an assumption this person cannot do anything. Why? Because this woman is a widow, so she is not allowed to do anything. She cannot do. That is the assumption of the society. And a physically handicapped person, this person cannot walk. Okay, okay, he is not able to walk. He is not worth anything. So this vulnerability is there, and they feel, the society makes the person feel that he is worthless. So this vulnerability is there. Okay. So first we spoke about social exclusion. Second was vulnerability, and the third is poverty line. Okay. Now based on the income or consumption level, based on the desired calorie. Okay. Now 2,400 calorie per person per day in rural areas. Okay. How much food a person requires. This is defined by WHO. Okay, a person is requiring 2,400 calories if he is living in rural areas, and only 2,100 calories in urban areas. So if he is eating less than this, he is poor. If he is eating this much, he is not poor. So this is the, what you can say, they are defining this line of poverty. So for year 2011-12, the poverty line of a person was fixed at 816 per month for rural areas and rupees 1,000 for urban areas. I said, okay, I got it wrong. I thought it was 2,500 for urban areas, but it is 1,000 for urban areas and only 816 for rural areas. So this is what been defined by India.
Again your
What? What did you say, Harshit?
again your voice was breaking.
Your voice is not clear.
Once again.
Yeah. Okay, so in this 816 is there, calorie is there, okay, and now the six features, that is the food, water, shelter, clothes, medicine, education is also there. So so these are all the definitions of poverty. Fine. Anybody has any question? If I'm not able to hear, you can also type your question, okay? Try and use the chat box. Okay, now we have the poverty estimates. The incidence of poverty in India was around 55% in 1973, okay, which declined to 45% in 1993 to 94, and further 21.9% in 2011 to 12. Okay, now the average annual decline was 2.2% points during 2004 to 2005 to 2011 to 2012. It is reduced percentage, but number wise it is huge. Okay, now we say the percentage has reduced, so there are less poor. No, but actually there are more poor because of the increased population also. Let us okay, now here we have the poverty line, the estimates of poverty line in India. Okay, then these are the figures from 1993, 94 to 2011 to 12. Where the book has not gone further than that. Okay, and vulnerable groups. Okay, we are going to talk about this here. Okay, this all let's talk about the vulnerable group, the social group. The social group that are vulnerable mainly are the scheduled type caste and the scheduled tribe households. Okay, now and in second there are the rural agricultural labor household and the urban casual labor households. Okay, if you want we can read a little more about this. Okay, now in India, proportion of people before poverty line is also not same for all social groups and economic categories. Scheduled caste and scheduled tribe households are vulnerable to poverty in social group. In the same direction, rural agriculture labor households and urban casual labor households are vulnerable to poverty in economic categories. Okay. World Development Indicators 2012, the World Bank, through huge investment in human resources development and rapid economic growth, poverty is substantially decreased in China and Southeast Asian countries. Interstate, that is, the proportion of poor is not the same in every state. Okay, Bihar and Odisha are the poorest in India, and the poverty ratios of are 33.7 and 37.6 respectively. Although with rural poverty, also urban poverty is high in these states. Means there are not only poor people in the urban, there are also poor people also in the urban areas. Okay, now the lowest incidence of poverty is found in Jammu and Kashmir, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, and West Bengal. Kerala has focused more on human resources development, okay, and West Bengal land reform measures. Why? How have they fought the poverty in Kerala? They have focused on human resources. They have made use of each and every human resource, okay. And in West Bengal, they have large land area, so they have done lot of land reform measures, and this has helped in reducing poverty. Okay, in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, public distribution of food grains is responsible for the improvement. The government has distributed food grains. Okay, next we have global poverty scenario. The World Bank has defined poverty as a people earning less than 1.90 per day. Okay, whereas in India, whereas what was it in India? 865 in rural and 1000 in urban. Yeah, you'll remember this. Okay, there has been a substantial decline in global poverty. There people are more less poor in according to the according to the World Bank. Okay. However, it is marked great regional differences. The regional differences are there. Poverty has declined in more in China and Southeast Asian countries. The poverty line in China was 88.3% in 1981, which has declined to 0.7 by 2015. Okay, now in the countries in South Asia, that is India, China, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, the decline has not been as rapid. The decline has not been as rapid. Okay, now poverty in India is also shown higher than national estimates. You know, what does that mean? Means although in figures, although in numbers, there is less poverty, there is a less percentage, but in actual, there are more hungry people, more poor people. Okay, now in the sub-Saharan Africa, poverty in fact declined from 51% in 2005 to 41% in 2015. Though in 10 years, there's been only 10% difference. Okay, now we are going to
Ma'am,
talk about what, yeah,
what is the percentage now? What is the poverty
now,
percentage now in India?
I don't know, I think you can Google it. What is the poverty percentage of 2003, 2004? But it will not going to come in exam. What is there in NCRT that will come, okay? And they have talked about 11 and 12 figures. What are the causes of poverty? Okay, low growth rate. During the British colonial administration, the rate of growth was very low, which was the basic cause of poverty. So the British government had destroyed the economy of India. That was the reason for the poverty here. Okay, now second was the discouragement of development of industries and handicraft products. This discouragement of development of industries and handicraft products is one historical reason of poverty. The policies of the colonial government discouraged development of industries like textile industries. In fact, they had destroyed the textile industries, which is the basic source of income of the poor. An uneducated person can easily get job in this type of industries as labor and sustains his livelihood. Okay, so there only if there is an opening, there was an opening only for the poor, you can say for the uneducated and to work as a labor. Okay, now if the person is educated, he has no job because the British had taken up those posts. Okay, the households were easily can easily earn money by the way to produce handicraft products. High growth rate of population, the population was increasing instead of low increasing instead of low level of income, which becomes cause of the poverty. Okay, now huge income equalities. There are huge income equalities between have or have not. For this term, huge income inequalities makes it difficult to properly implement the poverty elimination policies of government. Therefore, is a major cause of, means the rich were rich, getting richer, and the poor were getting poorer. And because there was no sources of education, there was no sources of you can say medical treatment, no education was there. A lot of things were there that the Indians were that India had come out during the was suffering between the, there was also like we did, I think in history, there was high revenues that the people had to pay. There was no education level was not there. There was so there was this huge income inequalities were there. Okay, now lack of land resources is also major cost of poverty. Incomes of the villagers were fully based on agriculture income, and lack of land resources creates low level of agriculture income, which becomes the major cause of poverty. Okay, let's see what is there in your reader. Causes of poverty. Okay, there were a number of cases of the widespread poverty in India. One historical reason is the low level of economic development under the British colonial administration. The policies of the British government ruined traditional handicraft and discouraged development of industries like textile. The low rate of growth persisted until the 1980s. This resulted in less job opportunities and low growth of income. Just hold on, somebody's at the door. Okay, so low level of the economic growth under the British government. Okay, there was low rate of growth. This resulted because there was low rate of growth persisted until the 1980s. Okay, now this resulted because there was low growth, so there was less job opportunities and there was less growth of incomes. Fine. Now this was accompanied by high growth of population. Other than this, there was another policy was high rate of population. So first was we have point number one, that was low level of economic development. Fine. Second was high growth. Sorry, high growth rate of population. Fine. The two combined to make the growth rate of per capita income very low. The failure of both the fronts, promotion of economic growth and population control, perpetuated the cycle of poverty. Now you all understand what are the two main reasons for poverty. That was the economic growth, okay, and then there was second was the population. With the spread of irrigation and the green revolution, many job opportunities were created in the agriculture sector, but the effects were limited to some parts of India. The industries, both in the public and the private sector, did provide some jobs, but these were not enough to absorb all the job seekers. Unable to find proper jobs in cities, many people started working as rickshaw pullers, vendors, construction workers, domestic servants, etc. The irregular small incomes With irregular small income, these people could not afford expensive housing. They started living in slums in the outskirts of the cities, and the problems of poverty, largely a rural phenomena, also became the feature of the urban sector. How did because there was, although there was a green revolution, most of the people in the Indian population had depended on agriculture. There was irrigation, green revolution, the irrigation system was improved in the agriculture sector, but it was not sufficient in for everybody. Okay, so what happened, people began to move on to the urban sectors. Okay, still they are doing so. There is no I'll just be back in a minute. Okay, in a second. Okay. Okay, so another feature of the urban rates is the huge income inequality. Okay, huge income equality. Okay, now one of the major reasons of this is the unequal distribution of land. And why is this a unequal distribution and other resources? Despite many policies, we have not been able to tackle the issue of a meaningful manner. Major policy initiatives like land reforms, which aimed at redistribution of assets in rural areas, have not been implemented properly and effectively by most of the state governments. Since lack of land resources has been one of the major causes of poverty, proper implementation of policy could not be improved in the life of millions of people. Okay, so the third factor is, you can say, lack of land resources. Okay, this is the third major factor. Okay, now many other social, cultural, and economic factors are also responsible for poverty. In order to fulfill social obligations and observe religious ceremonies, people in India, including the very poor, spend a lot of money. So no matter what happens, they since the girl is born, they will start collecting money and they will spend lavishly on the marriage. Okay, so social obligations. Okay, and religious ceremonies. Diwali is there, so there is going to be a lot of firecrackers that they are going to burn away. Okay, and if there is the marriage. Okay, they will have to, whether they, no matter what, it is a social obligation that they will have to fulfill. So number 4 is social obligations are very high in India. Okay, the people in India, including the very poor, spend a lot of money. Small farmers need money to buy agriculture input like seeds, fertilizers, pesticides. Since poor people hardly have any savings, they borrow. Okay, now they will spend. Okay, they will spend in on social obligations, and then when they need the money for agriculture or something, they will borrow. So debt is there. Debt is a reason. Okay, they borrow, unable to repay because of poverty, they become victims of indebtedness. Okay, you can say debt, or you can say, let's say, write it, indebtedness. Okay, so the high level of indebtedness is both the cause and effect of poverty. Okay, so we have done the major cause of poverty. I think I have it here in yeah. Okay, so I have written it here. I will send you this presentation if you all want. Okay, number 1 is British colonial administration. Okay, British ruined traditional handicrafts. Okay, second is rapid growth of population. Third is our agriculture failed to generate much employment opportunities, so the people migrated to urban areas, and there they fell into slums. Okay, now the fourth is our industries could not provide enough jobs to the job seekers. Okay, now people in India spend a lot on social occasions like marriages and festivals. Okay, now 6, poor people hardly have any savings and thus they are forced to borrow and become victims of indebtedness. Okay, 7, joint family system is there. Okay, now because there is a big brother who is working, so the younger brother is often jobless. Okay, so all the pressure is there. So joint family system is also the reason that people become poor, and unequal distributions of land and other resources. So these are the 8 features that is here. What are the anti-poverty measures that was taken by the government? So we have a twofold strategy of government, that was the promotion of economic growth and targeted poverty alleviation program. Let us talk about it. And okay, so first is the promotion of economic growth, and the second is targeted anti-poverty programs over a period of 30 years. Let us Okay, so we have the first program, that is, yeah, we have the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005. Okay, I think I have it here. Yeah, so you have to talk of Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana, PMRY, Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana is the aim. The aim of this program was started in 1993, was to create self-employment opportunities for educated unemployment. That was they provided a small subsidy loans for the people who were educated. Next is REGP, the Rural Employment Generation Program, launched in 1995 to create self-employment opportunities in rural areas. Okay, now Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarva Rozgar Yojana. Okay, this started in 1999 and aims at bringing the assisted poor families above the poverty lines. Okay, Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. Gramodaya Yojana was launched in 2000. Okay, then Antayodhya Anna Yojana this was for the poorest of the poor and elders. They used to provide free food grains. Okay, National Food for Work program was launched in 2004. Okay, then there was the National Rural Employment Guarantee, NREGA. You can say NREGA was passed in September 2005. The act provides 100 days assurance employment every year. So, okay, this was a program that was started by the government. Okay, but yet this was not enough. There we still have challenges are there. Okay, though challenges, though poverty has declined in India, poverty reduction remains India's most compelling challenge. We must broaden the definition of poverty from a minimum subsistence level of living to a reasonable level of living. This 865, I think, is really a crazy figure. Okay, nobody can survive in 865 per month. Okay, so the definition should be a reasonable level of living. Okay, a person should eat. He should not just taste some salt and then eat raw some boiled rice. Okay, he should have proper food. Okay, so bigger challenges before us are providing healthcare, education, job security. Now this let me bring it to this to your notice that we have this here 100 days assured program is there. So what happens? What happens on the 101 day? Yeah, he is thrown out. Okay, he's thrown out of the job and now another person is going to be taken in for 100 days. So this way the government is assuring job guarantee. This is no way, right? So we have real, you say we have real field problems. There are problems that we can find it on the ground that has to be taken care of. Only then poverty is going to be solved. Yeah, anybody has any question? Sampath, Harshit, I got your question paper of half yearly. I'm going to do the correction today.
Okay, ma'am.
And I think Sampath, you did not, whatever you, Shravan, where is your question paper? Did you not do the question half yearly mock test?
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
Okay, then anybody has any question? Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, so attempt it if you have time. Okay. And I will send you this question paper. I will send you the also the presentation, the PPT that I have, and it is good for you to go through the bullets, and then you will. And also, I will send you the question paper. Okay, you can go through the question and answers. And anybody has any question?
Ma'am, can we do revision of this all chapters once in the upcoming
Yes,
next week?
I will send you. I will send you the question and answers. Also, I will send you the notes. Okay, fine. And say okay then. See you in next class. Okay, bye.